There's some breaking news out of Russia, and President Vladimir Putin was speaking at a forum that included a lot of foreign journalists and businessmen, and he said that he could not be 100% certain the government of Syria will comply with a plan to destroy chemical weapons. Of course, that is the deal that they helped to broker, but he does see reason to be hopeful. He also said, quote, responsibility for Syria lies on all, not just Russia. And as we were talking about earlier, the UN General Assembly is coming to New York next week, but we'll continue to follow those breaking comments from Vladimir Putin. Meantime, back here at home, if you're fed up with Congress, and most Americans are, well, the 2014 midterms are at least shaping up to include a colorful cast of characters, shall we say, including a former Miss America, a Gitmo commander, and a beekeeper. The rundown of compelling candidates is in Roll Call, and joining me is the politics editor, Shira T. Good to see you, Shira. Good morning.
Good morning to you too, Chris.
Let's start with 2003 Miss America, Erica Harold. We already know she had been the target of some nasty attacks from within her own party, right?
Absolutely. And, you know, Erica Harold is beautiful, but she also has brains. She's a Harvard-educated attorney, and which is why it's somewhat puzzling that she's chosen to run against a freshman member of Congress in downstate Illinois. This is a very competitive district in the general election. We expect to see a lot of money thrown in this race, and she's certainly angered some local Republicans by choosing to take on this freshman member. But she's still a pretty fascinating candidate, and in any other race, I think Republicans would be clamoring to have her on the ticket.
Let me ask you about a former Gitmo commander, Army Major General retired Jerry Cannon.
Yeah, one of the most interesting military careers I've seen for a candidate running for office in a while. He served in Vietnam, he served in Iraq, he served in local law enforcement, and 10 years ago he was a commander at Guantanamo Bay, Cuba. If he's elected, we're pretty sure he is the only person who's served at Gitmo who would be in Congress. But it's a very competitive district.
And Roll Call also profiled another military man, Shane Osborne. What a backstory Osborne has. Just happened to make People magazine's 50 Most Beautiful People issue, too.
He did. About a decade ago, he made People magazine's 50 Most Beautiful People, and he rose to national prominence because he was the pilot of a plane that went down over the Pacific. The nose came off the plane, he was crashing, and he was interrogated by the Chinese, he and his crew, for days and days. And he came back to America as a war hero. He survived, obviously, and he came back and he ran for state treasurer. He won, he served for a term, and now he's running for Senate. And his chances are pretty good in that race.
And you cannot, you know, blame me for the bad pun. We have time for one more candidate who's generating a lot of buzz.
Very funny, yes. That is Michael Eggman in California. He is running for the House. He's a Democrat, and he is a bee farmer. According to his website, he is part of the beekeeper mafia. He has about 2,000 happy bees, happy beehives, and it's a very unique background for a candidate. I don't think we've seen this one before.
Shira Center. Great story in Roll Call. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
That's going to wrap up this hour of Jansing & Company. I'm Chris Jansing. Richard Louie